If we do need anything from them, we'll reach out to them. But you're good to go. Welcome to your new internship for the rest of the summer. I was like, what? I was elated, and I was also like, wow, look at life. If I had listened to my department that said I shouldn't do that internship, I will not be there that day. Hello beautiful people, hope you're all doing well, hope you're staying safe. Welcome back to Elastic Videos. We're back in another video. So on this one, you're an international student and maybe you have an internship or you don't have an internship yet, and you feel like you just can't get that internship approved, or for some reason the whole international student thing, CPT, OPT, makes it so hard to get it approved, or your department is like, oh no, you can't do that internship, and you're about to lose a good opportunity. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to lose that opportunity. Now let's get down to it. I'm gonna give a story time. So about 2 years ago, when I actually got 2 internships on 2 different occasions where I had problems with approving it with my school, had problems with CPT and stuff. The first one I got was a study abroad internship, and the excuse my department gave to me was that, oh, you can't do that internship because it's study abroad, it's not part of your program, it's not in this vicinity near your school. I don't even know who gave them those rules, but if there's anything you take from this video, is to just know that there's so many information you would hear as an international student. Always do your own research and always be persistent. Don't take everybody's word for it. If I had taken all those words for it when they said, oh, the sun, let me stay here. If I had taken all those words for it when they said, oh, I can't do those internships, oh, it's not in my degree level, if I had taken those, I would have literally missed those opportunities, and nobody would care. Nobody would care whether I did them, nobody would care whether I did not do them. It would just be that I missed those opportunities for myself. So I'm here to tell you, do not try to miss those opportunities. If you're in a situation right now where you're about to get an internship, okay, let me now talk to you first concerning that. As international students for CPT, we know that is usually during your school year. Maybe after 2 semesters at school, you're allowed to do CPT for the summer curricular practical training, whereby you take that internship, that position, you take that internship, and you have that credit applied to your degree in general. You know that's your credit. This sun is like all over the place. Let me just stay here. Okay, you take those credits and you know that they apply to your credits in your school, in your degree, fine. For upskill practical training, that's the one where you do after graduation. You know that it applies to after graduation, it applies to you getting a job outside of school, off campus. Even CPT can be off campus as an internship. But guess what? Based on my own experience, it seems a lot of people sometimes have difficulties approving their internships if their department says they cannot do it for whatever reason. So I've given you the first one when I was doing a study abroad. The second one is when I actually got an internship in a company. I did engineering as my undergrad. I got an internship in a company whereby I was so excited. I was so elated. I was so excited about it. I couldn't wait to start in the summer. And here my department goes saying, oh no, we can't approve that internship for you. We don't approve international student internships. I was like, okay, what do you mean by that? The office tells me to bring in a document, a CPT document. I'll link all of those down in the description, CPT, OPT. Bring a CPT approval document, take it to my department, and they'll be able to fill it out, and they'll be able to sign it and say I'm approved for the internship. And then I take it back to the international student office, and then they print out my new I-20 and they give me. But for some reason, my department was so difficult about it, and I have no idea why. And I feel like this happens to a lot of international students everywhere, whereby they just find themselves in difficult situations where people tell them no. These people are telling you no. Sometimes I just feel, I don't know if it's about they just don't know, or it's about they're just jealous. They feel like you're about to take all their jobs. I have no idea what it is. Y'all can leave in the comments, but it's so frustrating. I remember that time I was so frustrated. I was like, what is the meaning of all of this? Why can't I do the internship? Why are you all going to rip me off this opportunity? Like, how does that even make sense? Eventually, when I'd done everything, I'd taken all sorts of papers, all sorts of forms of approval to the office for them to approve, and they said no. I started to research in other schools, like, okay, how do people get these internships done? And I was seeing in other schools, very easy. Even in some departments in my school, they just, the advisor would just tell them, oh, bring your form, I'll sign it. For some reason, my department was so difficult, they wouldn't sign it. So what did I do? I did not resist. I did not give up. I did not say, oh well, other people are out here in other states taking their internships. Other people are out here doing good for themselves. Other people are out here getting opportunities, and me, I'll just be like, well, you said no, well, I guess I'll just sit home for the whole summer. Not me. Not me. I did not do that one bit. What I did was, when I just saw that they were being so difficult about it, I just kind of ignored. Honestly, that's just sometimes you have to ignore, or you just tell them, okay, yeah, I got it, cool, I understand, cool. Because how can they rip you off the opportunity whereby you're entitled to get? You have your I-20, you're entitled to get your CPT, you're entitled to get your OPT. What I did was, I was just like, okay. I went on, after I got the offer letter from the company I worked with, I kept on doing everything I could, the onboarding, the sign-ups. I was supposed to start like mid-May. I was supposed to start like mid-May. I'd finished school like earlier, first week of May. And you know, I was getting all those things ready, forms, online, onboarding for the company. I had all these issues going on with my school and getting approval for this internship, but I did not want to tell the company that because I just felt like I don't want them to start feeling like, oh, my own process is going to be so difficult, and then they say I can no longer do the internship. I was not going to have that, and you don't have that either. Don't. I was not going to have that. So what I did was I made sure I just went ahead with the process for my company. Whatever they asked me for, I did. I literally went out. I told myself I'll go ahead with the process until the day of my start date. The day of my start date, I am going to go to the office, because technically the rule is that it says CPT internships must be related to the student's degree. The student must receive some kind of, put it somewhere. Students must receive some kind of credit for the internship. For CPT, students must have completed their first year at university, and they must apply for authorization on their student visa and receive an updated I-20 before they can begin their internship. So basically what they're saying is you need an updated I-20 to begin your internship. Like technically you cannot start without a new I-20. But these people made it so hard for me. Like, what was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to sit at home while my mates were doing the internship? And I'll just not start because of what you guys don't know, or you think you know, and you're just like, yeah, you're just leaving me on the back burner, or what do they call it? You're just leaving me on the side, like, oh, you don't really care about my opportunities, you don't care about my career, obviously. So what I did was, I was like, okay, I'll go along with the process until the start date of my internship, and I'll go there the start date of my internship. And that's exactly what I did. When my internship started around May 12th, that was 2 years ago, around May 12th, I went there on the day, just like everybody else, dressed up for first day of internship, took my documents with me. What I did notice was a lot of other international students coming in from different states had their I-20s ready. They had their updated I-20s ready. Why? Because their department approved them, and once their department approved them, all that has to be done is that they process a new I-20 for them. But obviously I didn't have one, so I made sure I went to the first day of internship, like everything was normal. When they were about to give us student ID cards, that's when they started looking through our I-20s. I was actually so scared, because I was like, what if, like, okay, technically I don't have a new I-20. What if they're like, oh yeah, you can't start this internship with us, I'm sorry, would have to drop you from this whole set and this whole program. I was going to be so sad. But I was just like, well, it doesn't hurt, I'm gonna go there first day like normal, and I'm gonna try this out. And so I did. People were passing in front of me, getting their documents done, getting their photos taken for their ID. And that's the same thing that happened to me. When it got to my turn, I brought out my normal I-20, I gave it to them. I gave them maybe my driver's license. I don't think all this was necessary, but like some onboarding ID they had given us, that became very dependent on company. Brought all of this out, gave them my name, everything. And the lady looked at it, she marked everything for me. I think she looked, because normally I think on the back they're supposed to say if you have a new internship, your new I-20 is supposed to say that you have a new internship, which is technically how it's supposed to be. So if you can, if your department agrees, 100% get a new I-20. If they don't agree, know that you still have the right. And in terms of immigration and legal laws, it's very legal for you to still do your internship, because it's not your fault that your department doesn't technically know exactly what they are doing. I'm going to say that literally they did not know what they were doing. So I was there, and the lady looked at my I-20. She didn't even say anything. She just marked me out. She was like, oh yeah, all is cool. I was like, all is good. She was like, yeah, all is good. But technically in my mind I was like, okay, is it that she didn't notice, or is there something else I really needed to do? Eventually when they took my picture, when they took my ID, just to be safe, and of course I don't want to be out here breaking rules, even though technically the kind of person I am, I will break a rule if I know that it's leading me to my goal, and I know that it doesn't make sense for me to not break that rule. So technically I was like, okay, is everything fine? I'm gonna still check with them and tell them exactly how things are so that they understand. And after they took my ID for that day, I was already satisfied. I was like, oh wow, cool. So this went by smoothly. And so not long after, I went to one of the advisors, one of the recruiters, I think my recruiter, I can't remember, and I went to tell her like, oh hello ma'am, I just wanted to let you know that I'm an international student. I'm an international student. I have my I-20, my visa, everything is valid, but for some reason my school is not able to provide a new I-20 for me yet. And she was like, oh, okay, Ola, thank you for letting me know. Let me put that in. I don't know if she said let me put that in the system, but maybe she did. Let me put that in the system. That's fine. Just keep on continuing with your internship. All that is fine. If we do need anything from them, we'll reach out to them. But you're good to go. Welcome to your new internship for the rest of the summer. I was like, what? I was elated, and I was also like, wow, look at life. If I had listened to my department that said I shouldn't do that internship, I will not be there that day. I will not get all the money I got that day. I got during my internship. I will not get all the experience I got during my internship. So if there's anything you learn from this call, if your department or your school is making stuff difficult for you, go ahead with the process with your normal company. Don't stress them out at the beginning. Hit them with the news maybe later once you get into the system. Honestly, that's the best way you can do it, because if you do hit them with the news beforehand, it may also be good in your favor if they are going to waste your time later on, so that they already tell you from before you start that they can't have you, so they don't waste your time. But what I did, I went along with the process. I was like, okay, I'm going to start on my first day like every normal student, because I'm a normal student. Even if I'm an essential student, I have the right to do an internship. I came here to study, and I'm paying mad fees for all of these things. Yes, and I have a video about how to reduce your tuition anyway, if you're looking for that. But anyway, I made sure to go along with the process, get my go ahead to come there my first day, and then I let them do everything, take my ID, process myself, put me into the system. Then I told them, remember, I'm an international student, and I just wanted to let you know my school refused to give me a new I-20. I don't know what to do, but I knew that I had to come for this internship because it's something I've worked for. I applied, I did all these interviews for. How dare they tell me, is that correct? How dare they tell me that I cannot do this internship that I'd worked for? It wasn't going to happen. So I was just so proud of myself. I was like, wow, I'm so proud of you for persisting. I'm so proud of you for letting them know exactly how it is after you had entered the process, and just being clear so that you know that everything is fine. And she was like, yeah, everything is fine. If we need anything from them, we'll get it from them. But for now, you're good. You're welcome to your internship. And I did my internship successfully from May to August. I did my internship successfully, and it was a good time, and I'm so grateful for that experience. It was such a great company, such great vibes, so many benefits I enjoyed, traveling here, traveling there. It was such a fun internship. So here to tell you, like my dad would say, don't let anybody sustain. Is it sustain or sustain? I don't know, but the way it says it is like sustain. Don't let anybody sustain you. Don't let anybody cheat you. Don't let anybody cheat you off of what you deserve and off of your benefits. I'm always chatting that on this channel. So anyways, this was a video on how to get approved for your internship. If you're having issues with your department, if you do need any more help or advising, please reach out to me. My email is there, my socials are there. I'll be glad to talk you through it. Don't give up just because your department says no. Don't give up because your school says no. Don't give up because they say, oh, this does not relate to your degree. Don't give up because they say, oh, you can't travel to another country because you're already in the US. This is technically abroad, so you cannot go to another abroad. Well, I did. I went to France to study abroad, and I did an internship in France while I was a international student in the US. So a lot of things are possible for you. The sky is your limit and above. So don't let anybody cheat you or deceive you. Exactly. So I'm so glad I did this video to get my point across. This was not too while ago, but it was 2 years ago. I've had people also reach out to me personally in my schools and like, oh, Ola, how did you do that internship then? Now my department is saying I can't do this, I can't do that. How did you do yours? I was like, boy, girl, listen to them, do everything they want you to do. If they're not going to accept that you deserve what you deserve and you worked for this, just accept them like, oh, yeah. Then go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead and work with your company. Go ahead and do whatever you need to do. If they want to take it up as a fight, you go to immigration and ask the immigration that brought you here that why is it that they are not allowing you to do that, and then they'll probably report your school, and then they'll probably report your department and set things straight. Because at the end of the day, it's not your own. I'm not the one that caused myself to not have a new I-20 for my new position. They're the ones that refused to sign my documents, and nobody was going to do anything about it. Was I supposed to just be like, oh, I guess I'll sit home this whole summer? I mean, I stressed myself for about 2 weeks interviewing here, interviewing there, but I guess I'm just going to sit at home. No, that was not going to happen. And personally for me, I thank God. It's the grace of God that even gives me the strength and the power to have been able to go through those times. It was a tough time for me because I was like, what do you mean I can't do this? I'd experienced that before. These people were about to make me lose my France internship. They were about to make me lose my engineering internship that was so perfectly positioned for me. God forbid. God forbid, not going to happen. So I'm so glad you all watched this video with me till now. What else? If you are not going through, if it's not that your department is disapproving, if you have other issues like you don't know how to start, everything, I'm going to put links in the description, whereby once you do get that offer letter, you print out your CPT form, you put out the name of your position, put out the name of your department, your school, you sign it, and then you take it to your advisor to sign it. Also be wise with the advisors you take it to. Don't take it to advisors that will be acting somehow. Take it to advisors that can do well for you. If they don't want to do it, take it to someone else. Take it to your dean. Take your paper to the international student office. Sometimes some international student offices for some schools are great. Some are not so great. Some you think they're there to help you, but instead they're telling you what you can't do. I really don't understand it. But anyways, I still thank God for the opportunity. The ones that said no, the ones that didn't say no, they at least taught me something, and it built my resilience. And that's what I always teach on this channel. Build your resilience. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep soaring. Keep shining. Keep flourishing. Maybe that's why the sun is beaming in my face today, because God is like, yes, well done, my child. No, honestly, I really try for myself at that point in my life. I really try. So always try for yourself. Don't give up on yourself, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. On here we do millennial talk, self-help development, faith, worship, lifestyle content, reaction videos, Nigeria content, international students, career, finances, things like that once in a while. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless you. If this is your first time, of course, consider subscribing. We're going to be doing a flywire video, how to apply to tuition, no, how to get your tuition reduced much easier. We already did one video like that, but we're going to do another one, like a platform you can use. We're going to do different things like that, just little bits, tips for different students, whether you're international or not. You can benefit from all these things. So thank you again for stopping by. God bless you. Thank you all for subscribing. We're growing, and we thank God for that. I appreciate you all. God bless you. See you again in the next one, and catch you later. Bye.